The Electoral Act Amendment Bill that appears to still be trapped in the National Assembly is causing ripples across the country, especially among advocates for electoral reform. The bone of contention is the refusal of lawmakers to enable an electronic transmission of results by the Independent National Electoral Commission, despite the insistence of the Commission that it has the capacity to electronically transmit results. Now the coalition of united political parties is raising an alarm over an alleged plot to scuttle the ongoing Electoral Act Amendment Bill and possibly derail the 2023 general election. The spokesman of the group, Ugo Imochinyere, is accusing the leadership of the National Assembly and some lawmakers of conniving to prevent the electronic transmission of results.
The information at our disposal includes the alleged late-night exchange of incentives to some members of the National Assembly in the Harmonization Committee to see to it that the electronic transmission of results does not see the light of the day. Despite these accusations, the legislature insists the Electoral Act Amendment Bill reflects the wishes of Nigerians. The Senate has also set up a conference committee to harmonize the positions of both houses.
As at the time the MTF-FSP documents that normally precede the appropriation bill was prepared, the Petroleum Industry Act had not been signed. These precipitated some changes in the 2024 fiscal projections based on the implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021 and other necessary expenditure that should be accommodated in the 2022 budget. The key 2022 budget assumptions and targets underlying them are an oil price of $57 per barrel, an oil production rate of 1.88 million barrels per day, an exchange rate of 410.15 naira per US dollar, an oil revenue of 315 trillion naira, and non-oil revenue of 2.13 trillion naira. Council approved these changes.
Capital expenditure inclusive of capital component of the social investment program, as well as capital component of statutory transfers and capital component of 63 government-owned enterprises, as well as capital supplementation, including grants and donor funding, is in the total sum of 5.35 trillion, inclusive of the government-owned enterprises. So at this rate, the capital expenditure for the federal government, excluding the GOEs, represents 33% of the total expenditure of the government.
A report from the
Journalists all over the world play an indispensable role in the proper functioning of democracy.
Well, Facebook's share price
As the watchdogs of society, journalists bring to bear the successes and failures of candidates, government, and electoral bodies. They also are saddled with the responsibility of keeping people abreast of happenings during the election.
was ended 4 weeks.
It is why the Borno Coalition of Democracy and Progress is taking journalists to task on the need to prepare well ahead of the 2023 general election. This training is to serve as a reminder to newsmen on how best to report election matters in line with the ethics of their profession.
Elections are important aspects of democracy. The process of monitoring the elections, a lot of issues that have to do with threats do occur. And that is why in this particular workshop, we extensively discussed how media workers are being threatened during electioneering campaigns when they carry out the responsibility, and ways in which we can mitigate these threats.
Papers on challenging roles of media in politics, mass media coverage of elections and good governance were presented during the training. Journalists from the print, broadcast and online media took part in the workshop.